That's right. Welcome back to the Puck Drop Podcast. I'm Cole, the NHL Music Man Chapman, and I'm here with Lieutenant Dingle D.
And Snowy.
Destin Edgington.
We got Kirky and Snowy in the house
Kirky
tonight.
and Snowy. Who are Kirky and Snowy? Well, hang on. We got a couple reads here. This episode is brought to you by Hockey Stops. Don't forget your one-stop shop up in Ogden and Logan. Amazing team there. Hockey Stops is amazing, and they do a lot of great things for the Ogden, Weber County communities and northern Utah. So, and also we are brought to you by Utah, another awesome company. All of these businesses kind of intertwine with each other, and they support a lot of hockey, and just everything that has
just the local of it.
Yeah, and Utah. Go check it out if you haven't been to Utah. Go check it out. Some of the best bar food, eatery, drinks. They have a brand new beer that's called the Yeti. Yeti something or other.
Yeah, I spoke with Carson today. Yeah. That's coming out pretty quick.
Yeah,
so
it looks like go check it out.
It's gonna be pretty fun.
Awesome artwork on that. They did a competition for the artwork and whatnot. So pretty cool stuff. Even though the Utah Hockey Club is not going to be named Yeti, we know that for a fact now. But it's still fun. Still fun. Oh, yeah. Who do we have?
So we've got Coach Josh Kirk, and we got Coach Curtis Snowball.
Oh, yeah?
Snowy,
and that is his actual last name.
That is my last name. It is known throughout.
Everybody's got to know that. Yeah. I mean, I grew up playing with Snowy. We were young, and I just loved the banter that came with that. We mopped everybody up, but it was good times.
Sometimes, most of the time mopping, other times
getting slopped on.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We had fair share of back and forth with that. But no, glad to have you guys out here.
Thanks for having us.
You're from Vegas.
I'm originally from Alaska.
Alaska? What part of Alaska?
Anchorage.
Anchorage?
Yeah.
And then what year were you when you started playing?
Probably about 2001 was when I...
Well, you're young.
Yeah. I'm a 98 birth year.
Yeah.
So
we're 91.
Yeah.
You're not an old man yet.
Yeah,
so
I was about 3 years old.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you start. I was going to say, I'm doing the math here, like carry the two. Like, yeah. 3, 4 years old.
1, 2, 3, 4. We've been hitting the head a few times, if you haven't noticed that.
No, he's young, man. It's kind of nice to have him just that young age on the bench.
Absolutely. And so what got you guys into coaching? I want to hear that.
So hang on. What do you guys coach, first of all? So
we're the U16 AA Mustangs coaches.
Cool.
Kirky came on with me and Destin last year when we did 12U D1. Mm-hmm. And we just continued it going forward. It's kind of a last minute thing. We weren't planning on coaching at all this year. And we got a call July that said
about July, August, yeah.
Here you go. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then that's kind of how I got into it. Mm-hmm. I went to go to a stick and puck, and next thing I know, I'm talking with Sir Bertnolly, Mr. Bo. And then one thing led to another. And then next thing you know, we experienced, I loved it. I miss it. I really do, genuinely. And the best part about it is just like what you can give and take away from it. But at the end of the day, obviously that comes with a lot. But you keep coming back, right? So,
one of the hardest things that I've learned with coaching is it's just like hockey. When you start playing, you have to perfect your craft, keep doing it. Coaching, it's not like you have all the skills after you play. Right. Like it's totally opposite. And every year I feel like I gain more skills, new problems new challenges you have to get through. And it really does add on layers of you as a coach. That's why all the good coaches like Solly, John Solomon, a lot of these really good coaches have years on them where they've had experience.
Yeah, Briggs.
Yeah, Briggs.
They kind of go into it knowing what they're going to...
Shout out to Todd Collins in Arizona for me.
Hell yeah. Put that thing a little closer. But no, and agreed. Like we probably all have our coaches that really resonated with us as growing up. And it's one of those things where you want to leave an impact, but you got to face the adversity that comes with it. As a coach, even, and that's we've all been there. It's part of the game, as a kid, you're focused on, I got to go home and work on, like you said, skill, whatever you can to get better. As a coach, you go home and you're like, I got to deal with some parents and the political side of things, and then focus on the kids to get them better.
Yep.
You know, and it resonates. And film. I mean,
film was huge for us this year.
Was
like
it?
I think the most we learned was like playing the games but film.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you that as well, like, because I mean, when I was coaching with you, gentlemen, it was like 12U, right? You know, we elevated those kids for sure. Yeah, we had adversity. That's inevitable. But at the end of the day, like going from where we were at a 12U level to now you're doing 16U AA, like, did they give you more, like, you know, like time, more practicing, more like leverage? Because you're AA level.
We are, and we had 3 ice slots per week for practice.
Okay.
I think the main thing was like when you get to that tier level as a player, as a parent, there's an expectation, right?
Absolutely.
And it comes from the parents and the players, like being on time, having that swagger about you walking around, like, you know, your tier hockey and you need to show up and be that type of player.
Yeah. Well, and that resorts back to even the 12Us, right? Like where we had, again, some adversity, some speed bumps. We ended up calling in a sports psychologist, right? Yep. I mean, it doesn't matter what age group you're at to really dial in a camaraderie of players, right? You teach them young, it starts at home, right? The signature thing. That was huge. And that actually sticks with me as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
I've heard him say it many times on this podcast.
Well, it's a good thing to know. And it's a good thing to carry with you, right?
That was a great, like, from here going forward, you sign your name, basically like a contract with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like you're making this commitment to yourself. If you break it, that's just going to hurt you.
And
so
it starts at home too. Yep.
Starts at home. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like the thing about coaching is like you guys have to know not just like all the skills and everything that it takes to like do what you want to do on the ice, but you have to know like the mental side, the leadership side, how to be a leader, how to connect with kids, and how to train them in the best way possible to where it sticks with them. You know, it's not like, you know, there's good ways to train people, there's bad ways to train people. You know, so do you guys do anything like that? Do you read any like leadership books or anything like that? Have you dived into any?
Not really too much for me. I mean, just besides the like yearly training USA Hockey does. And I mean, that might sound bad that we only go that basic, but I mean, it still provides
and there's
you
like
all the tools. And stuff
there's like podcasts and like I'm not a reader, but there's great like podcasts and stuff.
And I'll dive in on that though with them, and I know because I've coached with them, and they're great. You know, when you're on ice and you've grown up with the experience. You're in-house, you know what needs to happen, and you appropriate it the right way, right? Now, like off ice, one thing I would say is like, you know, there's a discipline, and then I would say there's a discipline. There's a discipline and a disciplinary action, right? Like if you're causing problems, you can ride the pine for a while, right? That's a disciplinary action. Now, there's discipline when, let's say we're going to run some ladders so that we can get them engaged into, physical, conditioning and stuff like that to really like move forward and be better than the next person or be better than the next team and et cetera. So it's just a giant unit of everything that goes into things. It takes a lot of planning. I mean, endless nights on the horn with you guys when we were coaching together, and it was just like, I know I'm bugging you at this point. I'm bugging you at this point. You're bugging me at this point, and vice versa. But it was like, we got a duty to do, and we got to get it done.
Well, that's the nice thing about like having a good core group of coaches, because I look at things differently. Josh looks at things differently. You look at things differently. You approach things differently. Like this year, Josh was like the tough guy, right? Like
he's a tough guy.
Josh, is that true? Is that true?
Well, no, like, I mean,
majority
of the time, like
good cop, bad cop.
Like it's good to have those different roles as coaches, because some kids need that really hard push and drive. Like you need to be in their face.
Yeah.
And I agree. And even resorting back to Kenny Orlando, we just had him on.
Oh, nice.
Ogden Mustangs coach. We kind of had a little chat on that. And I was like, at times, kids are sponges. Let's be real. But at the end of the day, too much repeat from the same individuals goes right through one ear and out the other. So it's always good to bring in new, right? Mm-hmm. Bring in somebody new that can pep talk. I mean, just like Theo coming in and hyping them up, they went out and won. Like just a little bit of a variable of an indifferent difference.
Yeah.
To hear it from somebody else of sorts, it goes a long way. And it really does.
It really does, because sometimes you get in that same old
just
routine.
Like
it's a routine. And then especially if it's like say you're not having a good season and you have those losing routine, like you need something to spark.
Something's got to just switch
you
it
have
up,
to spark something.
You're not going to have a winning season every season, though, kind of like what you brought up earlier. But it's adversity. You battle through it. You learn. Every year you coach, you learn something new, I think. And
absolutely.
So I still look forward to the next season. And
loving it.
It's going to be fun. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is like creating a mental toughness. Like, you're going to have your losses. You're going to have your downs. How do you overcome that? And that's not, you can only do so much as a coach. Mm-hmm. How do you overcome that to project that to the youth or to anybody really, right? Like, it's just one of those things where it's just, but it carries over to everyday life, like bounce back. The only way to look is up when you land on your back. How do we get better? How do we work harder? Like
I would say too is like I had those rough seasons. Obviously, I think everybody did as a player, but it's like, how much do you love hockey if you want to keep going, or are you going to let that one bad season end it for you?
Yeah,
and
or game.
That's kind of what we were trying to portray for our kids at the end of this season anyway, was like, guys, if you want to have some fun still, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the end of the world for us. Like, you got plenty more in you still, so keep going.
Yeah.
And that's such a good point, because even though you have a bad season
or game
or anything, you can still like gain something from each time you step on the ice.
Absolutely.
And that's what we were always trying. Like, yes, we didn't have the best season, but U16 is such a raw year for these kids, because it really does. What do you want to do? You want to go play juniors? Mm-hmm. You want to
go play college?
Play college? Like this is a defining moment in your guys' career. And yes, maybe the team isn't doing the best, but you can still grow as an individual.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And get better.
And learn from those losses,
know?
So
of course,
like some of the worst stuff that's happened in my life is what I took the most valuable lessons from, you know? And, I know that kind of rolls into sports, snowballs into sports as well.
Of course.
Dude, I love it. It does. Because every time you have those hard challenges, you got two options, right? You either duck and cover or you rise up to the occasion.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you know what? Even if you fail again, fail forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the road. And that's just inevitable with anything, really. And that's what was so much fun about coaching with you gentlemen, was like, for one, you guys are family, all of you, clearly. And it was just, it's exciting to see the growth in a person, a player, individuals that can just really, you start to see them. Like, for example, I'm going to shout out Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Johnny.
He's literally 5'9" now and weighs as much as me. And I will be playing hockey with him on Thursday.
Johnny.
Yeah.
He hit a growth spurt.
Oh, I mean, he's just mobbing on it, everything. And I'm just like, that's cool,
Well,
and it's exciting to see.
I was at my nephew's game the other day. I think he's in U10 or U12.
Rafe?
Maybe yeah.
Rafe?
You know Rafe?
Yeah.
Rafe's okay.
That's my nephew. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So they were playing against Park City, and they ended their season, unfortunately. But there was some little kid on the Park City team that was he was faster than lightning, dude. I was like, this kid is going somewhere, man.
Yeah.
It's so cool to watch, the young kids that like really excel. It's fun to watch it in person. Like, be like, wow.
They got potential,
look
right?
Guy. Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to kind of take a step back on that, because some of those kids that do get to that level early tend to kind of falter out. And I'm not taking away from them at all. Keep working hard, by all means. Absolutely keep working hard. Because sometimes it does fall back where, like, you progress early and then it's just like you're not, maybe your body's not growing as much as it should, or, and then some of the late bloomers and stuff. I mean, look at Snowy. He just barely got a mustache, so.
It's coming in pretty nice now, finally, after 33 years.
Porn stash.
Yeah, over here. Beep. But the funny...
YouTube doesn't like the P word.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny.
He meant to say corn.
There you go.
There's a really good example. Like you said, those kids that are really, really good young, right? What I saw in Utah over the past 20 years was football was bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball was bigger. Soccer was bigger. We had this kid on our team. He was so sick.
You want to name names?
I don't know if I'm.
Just to be safe, probably not.
Yeah, no.
Well,
but he came after football season.
Who, what? Okay, give me some.
Context, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So this kid played on the U14 AA team last year.
Oh, you're talking about your team, not what
Yeah.
we grew up.
No.
Oh, okay,
Our
okay.
team.
Yeah, don't name names then.
But he didn't play on our team this year until December because of football.
Oh,
And that's why with this like Utah hockey team here,
do I know who it is?
I don't think so. I didn't know who it was.
Okay, fair enough then.
He's absolutely filthy.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
we
but he wants
experienced
to be he's an all-around athlete and wants to be a quarterback.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But guess what? With the Utah Hockey Club now, it's like hopefully that is like kids will decide.
He can see that
Like
in person
tilt
and be
on it
like,
and
maybe I do want to be a hockey
there is
player.
potential
Yeah.
that my talents could take me farther in this than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and at the end of the day, though, like
But it is good
Kids
for kids
can-
to play other
yeah.
sports.
No,
It's
without
great.
a doubt.
around.
Oh,
It is great.
100%.
It is
But-
great, yeah.
And there comes a time where, maybe parents, and this is to each their own, right? But like you get to pick. Like you can't force somebody to do something you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So at the end of the day, like I know it came down to where I had to pick between baseball and hockey.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't pick the first one. Because baseball is dope. Don't get me
Well,
wrong.
yeah, and I
but
enjoyed playing. I mean, watching it sucks. Don't get me wrong, no offense, but like playing is amazing.
Except for playoffs. Playoff baseball.
Oh, yeah. World Series is awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
I think
it.
it's harder right now to pick a sport because all of them are like all year round now.
All year
Right.
round.
Oh yeah,
Like even
for sure.
hockey now, like you got spring teams, summer teams, like tryouts. Like
See, and
it's never ending per se.
in that regard too, like
really
don't
tough.
burn yourself out because I did at a young age. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying I was going to go pro because I wasn't. There's not a chance. But like from 4 years old till 17, 18, like it's like don't burn yourself out. Take some time to go enjoy some things. I mean, focus
Other
and work
things,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah, focus and work hard when you have that opportunity and time to do it and when need be, but don't burn yourself out.
And it's just hard because you get these stories about like Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid, like they were all year long.
Well, they're just obsessive compulsive about it.
Exactly.
It's
No, they
like,
had that weird mindset where it's like,
yeah,
I want to
this
be
is
the best.
all it
This is
gonna
all
be
I
it.
want to do.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. If you want to do that. But just
There is good
when
balance.
you mature, you
Yeah.
might want to, everybody's different, but
I mean, yeah. I burned myself out of music producing.
yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
I was
no,
like,
for sure. I took like
can't
8
do it
years
anymore.
off, 8 to 10 years off of hockey. And it was
Yeah.
just like, I need to get back into it now. Wish I didn't do that, but
It's,
you know what I mean? Like,
It is, and you gotta have just a deep passion and love for the game.
and I loved what you
sport.
said, like create a balance,
Yeah.
create a balance.
And to like circle back to like your first question, that's what got me into coaching was if I'm not going to play anymore, I want to be
Like at
some
least-
sort of piece in it.
Yeah.
And coaching was the opportunity that came up. So
Yeah. And I mean,
Well, that's
Snow and I
why
were
that's
like,
why we started this podcast because I was like, I love the sport so much that I was like, I got to do something.
Well, and that your nephew plays, like,
yeah.
Dude,
They're-
that's so
and
awesome.
they're huge into it. That's they play other sports, they dabble, but hockey is life, man. And it was so cute to see like little Rafe. He was crying like after they lost, and
that's not,
and it's like
sucks.
you have a 2 week break,
Yeah.
and then you're back at it, man.
Fair.
Like it's okay, you'll be all right.
Is he still playing goalie and player? Or is he like picking one
the
of the
game
other?
I went to, he was playing wing.
Okay.
Was he? Cool,
Yeah,
nice.
they didn't have him in goal, but
Well, and he's not the biggest kid right now, just like
no,
what we were,
yeah.
I
I hope he hits a growth spurt. 'cause
He will. Look at his dad. His dad's tall.
dad's tall.
Tyler's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. Yeah.
You're tall. I mean, your family, he'll get there. Well, and that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Late bloomers. I mean, look at his, what is this thing you call that?
This
Little
is
soul
a
patch?
soul patch.
I'm just going to give him crap the rest of the time.
he looks at the camera.
Well, I
like
wanted
it,
to give him
though.
a demonstration.
Yeah, I love it.
It looks good. Hey, that's one
Reminder
thing I
that
Almost
had
like
to,
you've done this before.
that's one thing I had to learn was to not pull it out because it just
Dude.
keeps growing when I pull on it. So
When he started growing his beard, bro, I was like,
is that Destin?
Dude, your beard is immaculate.
Well, thank you. Your mustaches too.
Thank you, but no, I'm just being honest. Like when I first saw you after a while with your beard, I was like, dude, that thing is beautiful. That thing is
a beauty.
It
It's
is
kind
a
of nice
beauty.
because not a lot of people recognize me, but then the ones that do, they're like, "Holy crap!" So it's like,
I only know you with your beard, so if you shaved it one day, I'd be like, "Who the hell are you?"
oh, I'd look younger than Snowy probably.
Well, dude, that joke you tell me all the time when you said you sneezed. And your hair goes
He said it on this podcast about 500 times.
Okay.
We don't need to hear it again.
exactly. Every time he says that, it makes me laugh so hard. But
It's a burp snort, dude.
that's right.
I mean,
That's right.
speaking
That's
of that,
grown-ups.
so
Hey, that's grown ups right there.
what kind of juicy stories you got on Destin here? You said you got a lot rolling in. Let's hear it.
Now he's all pressured.
Yeah, which
I
one?
mean, yeah, which one? Remember when we ran away from the cops? Which one? Which one we got here? Huh? We were
like
how
young
old?
kids or adults? Because
Yeah, at this
I was
point,
like, I've only known you for a year and a half now. So
we'd have to roll the
I don't
tape
really
again.
got stories.
Yeah.
no, man,
We'd
we
have
got,
to roll the tape again if we were going to go into that.
growing up, like when I started playing hockey, all the kids that I played hockey with lived out by Fremont, like out west, West Haven, and
Which
It's
is
so
weird.
funny because
or not West Haven, Hooper, and the
West
Yeah.
Weaver.
West Weber.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like freedom out there because I'm from Ogden, like right above the Weber State Event Center, and you don't go out at like. You don't go walk around at night like till 3 in the
Well, yeah,
morning.
doorbell ditching people. I mean, we weren't dumb. We toilet paper. You know, we were kids.
No, but it was freedom out there, man. It was like you.
Oh, yeah,
it was
way out
like
west? Oh, for
way out west.
sure.
It was
It
like
still
country.
is.
Yeah, it's like country, and it was like, you know, hanging out with these guys gave me a whole new outlook on life because I grew up.
we can burn that. Cool.
Well, no, yeah, I grew up
Parents aren't coming to
LDS.
yell at us. What?
I grew up LDS, so I was like kind of like
Yeah.
on some regimen, and then started playing hockey and started hanging out with these guys, and I was like, wow, this is freedom.
Yeah.
Like I was like staying out till 2 a.m, like toilet paper in houses.
I'll tell you right now. I'll just cut to the chase. We did get chased by the cops. How old were we?
How
old? Only once?
No, it was multiple. But we always got
Probably
away.
13.
We were
Probably
about 12, 13,
12,
maybe,
13.
give or take. I mean, we're out doorbell ditching, right? It's like 1 in the morning.
Oh, wait, which time at Buddy's house?
Buddy's, yeah.
No,
his
we were
parents-
14, 15.
14-ish? Okay.
Yeah.
When they're in Vegas, so it was just Bree, his older sister, watching us. She wasn't even home. And we're literally, oh, man, we could go on that forever. It was crazy. So I'm going to hurry and bust this one out. 'Cause
Please
it's
bust
awesome.
it out, 'cause
It's so funny. So we hit this house, and like, I'm dead serious. We were just doorbell ditching. We went up there, rang the doorbell. And it was some kid we went to school with. We just knew who it was.
Yeah.
Took off running, and then all of a sudden this car comes out of nowhere, and it was just a car, and all of a sudden lights turned on and like flew up at us. What do you instinctively? You immediately dip.
Yeah.
We all
So we
did.
jumped this fence, and then like literally we all go to jump this next fence that's wood, and it just like tilts on us. Just we broke the living crap out of the top of it, and I was like, well, and then he yells, "Police, stop!" And his feet went through the first gate or the first fence. We're all the way like tilted on this end, and I was like, wait, I can hear him getting back into his car because he was driving around the block to come catch everybody that took on him. So
And so
I
you
ran
went back that way?
ran that way and ripped the fence off.
He was the only one, too.
Yeah, I was just like
the rest of us
incognito.
kept
Everybody
running.
else split. There was 5 of us.
Yeah.
It was Bronson, Buddy, Sherman, you, and me. And Sherman and Buddy ended up like through Fremont. I could hear the dogs barking. That's where I knew they were. I ate crap in this wide open field, and I'm not kidding. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, I don't know where you guys were gone till 5 a.m.
We were stuck underneath the trailer.
Hit under.
Me and Bronson were like,
we're like
spooning
cuddling
each
under
other under a
cuddling under
trailer. I was so scared. I was like, my mom and dad are going to kill
I
me.
know.
So
Well, and that's the thing is like you look back on it, it's like we weren't really doing anything terrible.
No.
But it was like I literally I'm thankful I tripped and ate beep. Because literally all of a sudden I look up and there was like 1 sheriff, 2 sheriff, 3 sheriff, 4 sheriff. You said what? There was like 7 sheriffs and like
dude, they came piling in, and I was like,
that's what
for
happens when you grow up
doorbell,
in
for
rural area.
doorbell
Or,
ditching?
yeah, no,
Like,
for real.
they all started just coming in, and I was like,
Out
this
in
is
West
what this-
Haven, they don't have anything better to do.
That's
so.
exactly what. Yeah.
Moral of the story is though, that place was freedom for me and changed my whole life. Right
was
there.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
such a good time.
And I
out
hope
there.
I hope the kids out there these days aren't too cooped up, You know, I hope they get to live the way that we did growing up.
Go toilet paper somebody that you know.
Back to the lessons learned of everything. It's like I learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah,
just
getting in trouble with cops and whatnot. Like
that's what I'm saying.
So Kirky lives at what's the address again, bud?
Off camera, I'll tell you. Off camera.
We'll put it into a little snippet before.
YouTube comments.
No,
I'll be on there blasting
Go toilet paper somebody you know.
put a pallet of 4-ply out in front of his house.
A full pallet. It's expensive nowadays, so we'll have to go to Costco or something.
You know, it actually doesn't fly like it used to. I went and toilet papered my sister's neighbor. Like, this was like, I feel
this was like
this
6
was a
months
long
ago.
time ago.
No,
Like
actually, this was very recent. This is like 2 years ago, and I feel dumb saying that because I'm 33 years old.
Who cares? Have
But the
fun.
guy deserved it because he was like harassing her for like just, and she was just
Toilet
living
paper.
her life. Like, and so we went to go throw them. They do not like fly. So we had to wrap them around the bushes.
Fair.
And
And
you did the mummy wraps.
that
technique.
And then it rained the next day. So I was like, yes.
We don't want to talk about paintball guns though either.
Oh, yeah.
I got blasted
I've
a couple
got stories
times.
on that.
Yeah, we definitely.
I ended up in court because of like a paintball gun night with all of my friends. Yeah.
See that?
well, we never shot we got shot.
Oh
by
no, we
paintballs.
broke RV windows, and it was a bad night.
Yeah,
you
we
had that
yeah.
gas turned way high.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah, we were going crazy.
Yeah, we would just toilet paper people and like write chalk on their driveway and stuff, but we wouldn't shoot paintball guns at people's houses. Don't do that.
I'm talking slingshots with rocks. Yeah. I'll have to tell you about that whole story.
Yeah, we'll wait on that one.
Yeah.
We're talking to like the kids here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're shooting the
Yeah.
No, but for the kids, the only reason I stayed with hockey is because of my friends like Destin, Buddy Bronson, Seamus, all those guys that we grew up with. That was one of the main reasons. Like I picked hockey over certain sports at high school, right? Instead of going and doing all the high school stuff, it's because of kids.
Yeah.
Hanging out with these guys and
camaraderie. We talk about it all the time on this
camaraderie, man.
podcast, man.
Kirky,
It's unlike
now
any other sport.
yeah, and
really
it made us a better team because I knew more about his life than just on the ice. Like it was like no,
It's
like
family.
family.
Yeah. And then same
but
with
that
Kurt,
was your guys'
you know?
advantage. Like you grew up around the same people, playing on the same team all the time.
Right.
Like I bounced around, like in Arizona, how they have the 6 teams down there, and
Yeah.
like it's almost like a free for all. Anybody goes anywhere one
just-
year, and so you're like really never playing with the same people all the time.
And that's one thing that would be nice to incorporate here, which it's kind of, I feel like getting closer to that because back in the day it was that.
It was like you lived in Ogden, you played in Ogden.
Right.
Now it's you bounce.
And
Well,
then
plan a night like with your kids and like go play night tag or something.
Yeah, kick the can,
obviously we're not gonna get cops involved or anything like
No,
we did.
no.
Like we did.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it wasn't
plan
intentional,
those things are great for
well,
kids
and even
team.
Kirky coming here, like that was an immediate family,
Yeah.
you know?
Did you even have any like bonds? Like how you said you jumped around all the time. Did you really have any bonds with like the players or like?
I mean, yeah, because it's like
Just like anything.
it's in
really.
Arizona. I mean, we all still stayed local. Like we all played against each other or with each other type deal. So and it carried on once I moved out too. And I mean, like juniors too. Like I still talk to a guy today.
Yeah.
And that was 8 years ago now. So like, you know, they just bond forever. Kind of.
It
You
does.
said
does.
too. You like somebody more than other. You just stick with them type
And
deal.
yeah, I mean, Bronson's a turd, but we still love him.
Well, boys, we are. This is a time capsule in here, and we are already out of time. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having us on, man.
Yeah, it was great.
Appreciate it as well.
And it was cool to see you come in and know like me from back in the day. I was like, all right, cool.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day. I was like, I mean, you know, I mean, like I said, it's a small community. And when Destin started doing the podcast with you, it's awesome, man.
Yep, it's fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for
Thanks
sure.
for tuning in.
Thank
This
you.
has been the Puck Drop Podcast. We'll see you next week.